My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring that little bell so you are notified when new videos drop. This video is somewhat a bit of an update. People ask me, Tzvi, what's happening? You're at war, and it's not a Twitter war. It's a war with actual real explosive and bombs and people firing at me. I was about 300 meters away from a missile that hit like yesterday. I got a lot to tell you, so I just thought I'll do this video. I'll update you. We'll look at some of the vile virtue signaling, which is going down by morons. Utter morons. I think we'll have a bit of a laugh at their expense. And I'll just basically keep you updated, my life during wartime diary, as I guess this is going to be. Before we get to it, though, can you hit the like button? That'd be freaking awesome. I tell you, nothing shows support than hitting the like button. The share button, actually, that would actually be helpful as well. Subscribe. That's wonderful. Thank you very much. I am pathetically grateful. And the answer is, the truth is, I am genuinely pathetically grateful for everybody who subscribes. I really am. So thank you for that. If you subscribe, make sure you're still subscribed, because YouTube will unsubscribe you. They will do that. They're not my biggest fans, but I'm very grateful for the platform they're giving me, and they give me thus far. So thank you very much there. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. If you vehemently disagree with me, right? If you're on the other side of the cultural aisle to me in any way, if you think I'm lying, whatever, get in contact. Come on, I'm happy to talk all this out with you. That will be fantastic. Something else will be fantastic is if you go check out my Indiegogo. There it is. I write and draw comic books, right? I write and draw comic books, which are pretty darn good, if I may say so myself. They're more like grown-uppy comic books. So we've got two here that's in this campaign, which I'm finishing soon. I've got to finish this campaign soon so I can move on to the next one, which is basically ready to go. And I want to ship it out, right? I want to ship this out so people can read them. So you got two books. You got biblical Bible stories for atheists, crazists, rationalists, and rogues. This is a very biblically based book, but I would say not preachy. It's a story. It basically ties together things you may have heard of: Tower of Babel, the Flood, Noah's Ark, and the Book of Jonah into one, I hope, seamless narrative. And again, no preaching. I don't really get the point of preaching, but no preaching. 220 pages long, and we got the Imperium, 105 pages long. A love letter to telefancy of the 1960s. I wrote both of these. I did the art on biblical. I just wrote this one, but Dominic Ratcho did the art on this. Freaking awesome artist, absolutely awesome artist. Basically, imagine Doctor Who, James Bond, Emma Peel, the Black Slab from 2001, and a monkey in a spacesuit, lots of toilet paper, and a little, cameo by the prisoner. And that's, what you can expect with this book. I'm looking forward to you guys reading it. You get a bunch of extras. You get a bunch of postcards. I call For the Male Gaze, a little bit saucy, based on things that did titillate me as a young lad, and they still titillate me today. We have a James Bondy one, Keep the British End Up. We have a Space 1991, Party Like It's 1999. We have a Judge Dredd one, Don't Even Think It, Citizen. I hate to say it, but I do think it. I think it quite often. We have No Hanky Panky in TARDIS, my personal favourite. This is I'm a child of the 80s. This is what I grew up with. We have Sensing Strong Emotions, Captain, and one that I think that just about we can all come together in these divided, divisive times and say, this is wonderful. The Force is Female. Just fantastic ones. You also get, if you get $8 grand, everybody's getting this for free. We're at 7.5 right now, so I think we can hit $8 grand. It's a A2 poster. We call this a Behemoth in Time and Space. We have also got the other posters. I'm a big Doctor Who fan. If you hadn't already guessed, I'm a big Doctor Who fan. This is The Eyes Have It. This one is Great Balls of Fire, and we have one more, Forever Young, and we got one piece of artwork which I'm waiting to find time to finish off and get ready. So that's really what I need to do to finish the campaign. It's a Jewish holiday tonight, the holiday of Shavuos or Shavuot, depending on how you would like to pronounce it. So it's another day that I'm not going to be working on this. So fine. Let's just talk about in general what's going on. So there's a lot of disinformation going on, which always happens, which is why I'm making this video, right? There's lots of disinformation going on. The narrative is that Israel, the evil, cruel Israelis, were evicting poor indigenous Palestinians from their homes to replace them with more evil Jews. And basically, I've seen a video going around of a Jewish guy who's like, hey, what are you talking about me? This is my home. You know, it's got nothing to do with me. Trying to make him look as bad as humanly possible. So it's very important to point out that the Israeli government and Israeli courts are completely separate. In fact, I would say the Israeli courts are very, very left-leaning, right? So this is a legal matter that's been going on for, I think, decades, literally decades. And it's about people. It's about property rights. Somebody says this is mine. Somebody says this is mine. They present a case. It's gone to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court I think they pushed off the ruling. In fact, to de-escalate tensions. Right. So that's the first thing. It's called a Baba Meiser. If you're not Jewish, it's called a Baba Meiser. It's a story by a grandmother. It's not really what's going on at all. But because of that, the flames were aflamed. I think the best way to say it. So what's really going on? Do we have we have two power blocks in the Palestinian world. We have was it Hamas, who have control of Gaza. Hamas are a virulent terrorist organization. They hate Jews. That's a big one in their charter, right? They hate Jews. They hate gays. They hate lesbians. They hate LGBTQ. There's no sexual equality in Gaza. In Gaza, they hate anybody who's not Muslim. They hate a lot. Essentially, they're the Taliban, right? They're ISIS. They are not woman friendly. They're not warm and fuzzy. They were voted into power. So were the National Socialists in Germany in the 1930s. It's not really a stamp of approval, right? So we have them, and then we have the warm and fuzzy Palestinian Authority, who also hate Jews and want to kill them everywhere, just slightly less. So they're vying for power. The Palestinian Authority have cancelled the elections for, I think, the 15th year running, so they say there's no real democracy when you can't have an election. So that upset was it Hamas, and they've started a popular uprising, essentially to gain power within the Palestinian world. That's really what's going on, right? That's the entire. So they started stockpiling rocks and Molotov cocktails in the Al-Aqsa Mosque. That's the Dome of the Rock. That's right next to the Wailing Wall, the Western Wall, the most holy site in the Jewish world. And this is a very reasonably holy time in the Jewish calendar. So we're coming up to a Jewish holiday, and they were violently trying to murder Jews with these rocks and Molotov cocktails, necessitating the police to went to the police, by the way, almost entirely Muslim. You should know. Enter the Dome of the Rock to stop them trying to kill Jews. And that's really the bottom line. But if you want to know what's going on with the Israel-Palestine conflict, it's this, that two people want to live in the same land. Now, over and over again, the Israeli side, right from 1947, has said, yeah, we're happy to share it. Partition plan, baby. We are good for coexistence. We are great for that. The other side said, no, not so much. We don't want coexistence whatsoever. And so, there's a lot of talk about, Palestinian rights. The only right that's really being infringed upon, and this is the only one, is the right to kill Jews, right? And they don't get that we're not really up for that, right? They don't really get that. They want to be able to kill Jews, and they say, but wait a minute. When we are in a mosque, can we not kill a Jew from a mosque? What world is this when we can't kill Jews from a mosque? And say, no, we're not really into it. Really? And say, it is unreasonable. You would not negotiate. So that's essentially, I boiled it down for you. So that's really what's going on. So there's been a massive, again, we've never seen anything like campaign, a rocket campaign. The last one was in 2014, and I remember that one because it wasn't that long ago, right? 2014, and so they fired the same amount of rockets in 3 days as they fired in 50 days, right? And rockets are not warm, love love tubes. You know, rockets are meant to kill you. Now, we do all have bomb shelters, which is why they're not very successful at killing us. And also, we have a thing called the Iron Dome. Just breathtaking to behold. Breathtaking to see. That's incredibly accurate at shooting down these many rockets, right? So before I get to my personal experience of the war, which actually has actually happened, there's a few things I have to bring up to date with, which is why, again, I started making this video earlier, but I was sick and I didn't really want to make it. I'm like, so then I was like, no, you know what? Now, once I heard this latest news, I thought I should bring everybody up to date. So first, let's look at this. As soon as there's an Israel-Palestinian conflict, we start to get the virtue signaling, like lots and lots of virtue signaling. They're big into virtue signaling, liberal progressives, and this is a good one. So IGN, which I'm a big science fiction nerd, right? I love all this stuff. I love Star Trek. I love Doctor Who. I don't like the current version of them because they're all awful. But generally speaking, I love this stuff. IGN is a site that covers it. So IGN posted today, Palestinian civilians are currently suffering in great numbers in Jerusalem, Gaza, and the West Bank. Yes, that's true. But equally, Jewish civilians are also suffering in great numbers. We are mostly hiding in bomb shelters throughout the country at any time in day or night. There's a lot. It's not good. It's not fun. It's not fun, and it's not funny. And I'm not denying Palestinians are suffering, but it's saying just Palestinians are suffering seems to be a bit biased to me, right? Seems to be a bit one-sided. And there's some great organizations to donate in order to help those in need. Well, again, as you're going to hear, there's not just Palestinians in need. So I don't even look at these organizations, but I doubt they're all the International Red Cross, right? So that's IGN. So then IGN in Israel, which has quite a big following, put this out. So again, this is the dueling virtue signal that we're going to see. Dear netizens, we were amazed to discover this morning a misleading and confusing donation campaign found on the American IGN website. It's important to emphasize that we condemn this action and we do not we did not take part in it or were aware of it in any way. Dude, you're all working for IGN, okay? I think, you need to own this one a little bit. Say we at IGN Israel support support the Israel state, obviously, and support IDF soldier. But yeah, okay, I get that, but maybe rebrand to a different thing, because you're not being warm and fluffy to us right now, right? That's not a good thing. So then, always without fail, if you're a LGBTQ plus activist, you will be on side of the people who hate the Jews. Like, just doesn't matter if they hate the LGBTQ people as well. As long as they hate Jews, that's enough. So they will have I would say a racistly biased take on things. So let's look at this racist biased take. Again, I'm a comic book nerd. Joe Glass is a terrible comic book writer. And he feels the need to put his 2 cents in, which is amazing. Palestinians throw rocks while Israel throws ballistic missiles and demolish buildings and lives. Excuse me. Again. We use our military to protect our citizenry. That's Israel. Hamas uses their citizenry to protect their military. That's just the fact of the matter. A lot of people were very upset that a building was blown up. Was it yesterday or the day before by the IF, the Israeli Air Forces building? Was a Hamas asset. This is where they had their their intelligence center was in. Also, they do hide behind civilians. So also it housed Al Jazeera and the Associated Press and other founders. So to minimize loss of life, Israel did something that no other country has ever done. in conflict, they phone up the people they're about to attack and say, excuse me, we're about to attack you there. Could you please get out of the way so we don't hurt you, right? So that seems a little bit humanitarian to me, but nope, that doesn't matter. And, you know, they do throw rocks, but they also throw lots of missiles. Again, personally at me, right? Personally at me. So, you know, I don't want to tell you, mate. It's disgusting to see the absolute clear bias news agencies have against Palestinians in the report. No, I just think there's some levels of, reporting where it makes them be slightly less biased. Again, you're insanely biased, right? How the hell does a rock compare to bombs and automatic weapons? Well, it compares. Have you ever had one of these rocks thrown at you, and have you ever been tried to kill by a rock? Have you ever had a missile thrown at you, Mr. Glass? I don't think you have. What about Molotov cocktail? I notice you don't mention those, but no, because Hamas hates Jews. You're their friend, and that's really the truth, the real bottom line. So let me tell you what's really happening. So yesterday, a couple of personal stories. Yesterday was Sabbath, and Sabbath is you're offline. It's actually really, really nice. So it used to be the thing that families would go to other families' houses for a Sabbath meal. You have two big Sabbath meals. Some people have three. You have two big. You have a Friday night meal and a Saturday lunch meal, right? And they're kind of like Thanksgiving-y meals, right? And used to be one family will go to another family. We'll hang out together and have our meals festive meal together. So we haven't done that so much because of the pandemic. The first time we're going out was yesterday, and I was sick. I've been sick as a dog, right? So I'm like, I can't do it. I'm staying home. I'm sorry, I'm gonna stay home. So I was laying in bed. It was about 2 PM. I was laying on bed, not in bed. I was really enjoying not doing anything. I was really enjoying it. And suddenly I hear a siren going. I'm like, oh man, do I have to get up? Do I have to get up? I really don't want to get up, right? I really don't want to get up. And I'm like, then I thought, well, where am I going to go? Okay, do I go downstairs to my bomb shelter, or do I go upstairs to my roof and I watch? Because that sounds more fun, right? But getting up, I might as well enjoy myself. So do I do that? I'm trying to decide. And I'm thinking, you only got 90 seconds, by the way, and I'm like procrastinating. Then all of a sudden, my wife's phone, which is plugged, again, we don't walk around with devices and stuff on Sabbath, which is plugged in next to our bed, that's the siren starts on that one, like in my room, the siren, I'm like, well, that's probably not good. That's probably not good news. I think I should probably get up at this point. So I get up, and I'm like, okay. And then I was like, upstairs, downstairs, upstairs. Suddenly, boom! I hear this massive boom, right? Massive. And the window shake. It's just like in the movies. I'm like, well, I guess I should go check that out. That was a mistake. You're supposed to not do that. I've later found out. You shouldn't go and check it out. And as I get up, my son, my 17, is he 17 or 18? Amazing, runs in because he was at our friend's house for Sabbath lunch, and he wanted to make sure I wasn't sleeping through the siren. I wasn't sleeping through it. I just wasn't being responsible through it. So then we go and try and see where it is. Right outside my house. I'm looking right outside my house, 200 meters away from my house. About 300 meters away from my house, I see a plume of smoke. It was just like some wasteland just beyond the boundary of the town. So I survived a Hamas missile attack. So congratulations. That was pretty good. Then my daughter again. She's not a little girl. She's older. She's in the 20s. She's in the army. So they're not very on board with my kind of blasé attitude. Like, fair. No, we're actually quite lucky. We have our bomb shelter built into the house. Where they don't have bomb shelters in, so they ever has to go to the communal bomb shelter around the corner, which was like one person there his husband, she's pregnant with 2 kids, right? And not pregnant with 2 kids, she has 2 kids and she's pregnant, and her husband has just been called up, right? When I'm going to talk to you about that in a second. So she's freaking out big time, right? This is really not good. There's a lot of stress going on. So so that's that. That's basically what life is like. If you don't have a bomb shelter, in your house, which most people don't. Again, unfortunately, not only do I have a bomb shelter, I have this bomb shelter, which is awesome, right? This is the most awesome room in the house. Let me tell you. So then at what about 12:31 in the morning? Again, this is after the Sabbath ended. There's a siren again. My daughter is doesn't like my blasé attitude, so I'm like, fine, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna go downstairs. It takes me a couple of minutes, and by the time I get to the top of the stairs to go downstairs, the alarm finishes. Okay, can I go back to bed, please? Can I? I said, no, you gotta wait 10 minutes. I'm just gonna wait 10 minutes up here. So I go and lay down again. And then 3 minutes later, another siren. Like, fine, I'm coming downstairs. So I'm essentially knackered. I was up all night. So one thing that I want to say is this incredible military maneuver that's really shaken the whole country. It was on Friday morning. We all thought there was going to be a ground invasion of Gaza, and this freaked me out completely, right? This freaked me out totally, because look, a ground invasion of Gaza is a big deal. This means there's going to be a lot of casualties. It's going to be very bloody. It's going to be very, and there's going to be, Israeli casualties. And I'm not sure how much stomach we have for that, right? I was really worried. So everyone was called up. I told you my the guy's wife who was in the bomb shelter and she's pregnant, and he's been called up. Right, was called up for military service. That's what happens after you finish your military service in Israel. 22. For the next 30 years, if there's a war, you get called up, right? Because basically you go and do like mundane stuff while the more active soldiers go and do more active stuff. So he got called up. There was a ground invasion gonna happen of Gaza. So they called everybody up. We all thought it was gonna happen. They lined everybody up. They got all the tanks lined up, ready to go on the edge of Gaza, and we all thought it was going down. Right? Everybody thought it was going down. So did Hamas. Hamas have this incredible network of tunnels that they built underneath Gaza, and they put their advanced fighters into the tunnel, so when the soldiers go in, then the fighters can go in behind them and do and get them that way, right? So that was what they thought was going to go down. So the biggest problem with fighting Hamas is, as I said, they use their citizens to protect themselves, protect their military. They hide behind the citizens. This maneuver made them bring all their fighters out from the citizens into combat, right? So everyone's lined up. We all think it's going down. And it didn't. Instead, the Air Force carpet bombed this entire tunnel network, I think wiping out most of their forces right there, and their tunnel network. Just an absolutely brilliant maneuver. Which again, I just avoided civilian casualties, which is the way to go. And listen, honestly, if I was given my choice of can we achieve peace, can we achieve coexistence peacefully, I would so go for that, right? That's me. That's I think anybody sane would rather have that, right? We Jews say never again. After the Holocaust, we say never again. And something that's really fueling this was also at the same time with the missile campaign going on. There's been these militant, racist, anti-Jewish riots, right, going on, and they've been burning down synagogues. And something Israelis will not put up with is synagogues being burnt down and pogroms, which is what we left Europe to get away from that, right? We moved, we actively left away, and there is no tolerance whatsoever for that. I want to be clear as well. There have been Jewish gangs that have started attacking Arabs as well. Terrible. That's absolutely terrible. No one's on board for that. And Netanyahu said on TV the other, like last night, where there's zero tolerance, and I agree with him. I completely agree with him. But I'm going to end off the news on a really tragic story, which is why I'm making this video now. Right? It's People say, this guy Joe Glass, they're just throwing rocks and you're throwing missiles back. Let me tell you a story of what I have to do today in 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours. A neighbor, in fact, the mother of the woman whose husband was called up. Her sister moved to Israel six months ago, and she lives in a town called Renana. We've had air raid sirens all night, so she was very scared. She doesn't have a bomb shelter in her apartment block, so she go out. And I don't know the detail. I don't know, but she was scared. She had a heart attack and she died. So they're burying her right now. In the Jewish tradition, we bury somebody straight away, and we have a week-long mourning ritual called Shiva. But that's good. That gets cut off by Jewish holidays, which starts tonight. So she's got about an hour and a half of this thing called Shiva, starting in 3.5 hours, which we have to go. We have to go. It's like it's an absolute tragedy. What we say in Judaism, when we hear tragedies, in Orthodox Judaism we say Baruch Dayan. Was it her emet? Blessed is the truthful judge. We're talking about God, and that's really the cornerstone of the Jewish attitude. Blessed, even when tragedy happens, even when and it is. I'm very upset when tragedy happens. We still bless God because we think everything is for the good, ultimately for the good. So listen, I'm gonna end off. I'm leaving something in the video notes here. Let me open this up again and go over here. This is. Second, let me refresh this page so it opens up. This is a page from AsiaTorah.com. This is the rabbinical ceremony that I went to, and when it does eventually open up, there we go. It's going to be the prayer for the Israeli soldiers. I'm actually very happy. My son, who is an officer in the army. He was pretty good. He got promoted to an administrative position, and he's doing whatever he can to get to combat right now. I know he is, but he's going to be home for this Jewish holiday, so we're very excited about this, because we don't know how much longer this relative calm is going to. We don't know how long it is till he's going to have to go in combat, right? I don't know how long it is till we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen next. What I can almost guarantee you is there's going to be international condemnation. Like, I think this morning, Hamas shot 3 missiles. Well, they shot a lot more, but 3 of the missiles they shot fell in Gaza. But because they're garbage, their missiles they got fell in Gaza, knocking out their power supply for 250,000 Palestinians. So, listen, if anybody harasses you, say, how do the Israelis do these terrible things? It's not. Most of these characters are the... in fact, the entirety of the characters are I think, Hamas's fault, but these specifically are Hamas's fault. So again, I'm going to leave this in the video notes. If you believe in God, whether you don't believe in God, whatever. This is a prayer for the safety of the Israeli soldiers. We would much rather have no military. I can guarantee you that. We would much rather have no military, or have no need of a military whatsoever. It's we say never again. I started saying it. We say never again. After the Holocaust, and never again means never again, right? Never. We're never going to let you kill us again. We're never going to let you murder us again because we're Jews, and that's the thing. That's basically the one thing that the Hamas and will not give up on, their right to murder Jews. So when we say never again, we mean never again. And now, we would much rather that we get to that peacefully, without anybody getting hurt. It seems like a reasonable point of view, right? It seems quite reasonable. But it means that one of you's got to die to stop you murdering us, then one of you's going to die. It means 10 of you are going to die. It means 10 of you are going to die. It means 100 of you got to die. 100 of you got to... It means that doesn't matter, the number. The number's irrelevant. Never again. We are never again going to let you murder us, right? At least we're not going to go down easy, right? So, so the only way to stop you murdering us, unfortunately, is to take our children and put guns in their hands and teach them how to defend us. Because I'm freaking useless at it. So I have no doubt that this is where my son will be shortly. If you could consider seeing this prayer and saying it Thank you. That's all I can really say. Thank you. When you believe in God, when you don't believe in God, I know. Head your bitch. Thank you very much. I'll listen. More news happens, the more I'll tell you what's going on. Oh, the other bit of news is we were very excited. Here in Israel, we had this brand new cruise liner. Just came to Israel. We were going to serve it because we were doing the best for the pandemic, and they normally go from Cyprus somewhere or somewhere in Europe, but they can't go from Europe because pandemic's going on. So they're going to go from Israel. Two of my kids had jobs on this cruise. They were so excited. Cancelled. I think it's gone. It's gone. It's very sad. So there you go. Life during wartime. This is really it. This really is life during wartime. I hope you appreciate this little update. I'll give you more when more stuff happens, and I get a feeling more stuff is going to happen. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.